teenagers, young adults, hear ye. I'm gonna make a list of some of the stuff that you should have in mind while growing up so you can have the best of your experience. Now, who am I to tell you what to do with your life? I'm just a 19-year-old making cartoons on the internet. But listen, though, I'm spitting nothing but facts. Number one, we're gonna come back to number one. Number two, try not to get no one pregnant or get pregnant because having kids at a young age, not fun. Number three, now this next word, it might be offensive to most, so cover your ears if you don't want to hear it. Getting a job. Ugh. Getting a job so you can get your own money to pay for whatever you like. Number four, subscribe, please. All right, but going back to number one. Transportation. Getting from point A to point B. One of the most necessary items a young person needs. Now me, I wasn't too worried about driving because my mom would just drive me everywhere. It was cool because I would just sit in the passenger seat, listen to music, talk to her, watch YouTube. It was the best. Why would I learn how to drive? My mom could do it. But starting my sophomore year of high school, something clicked. Everyone around me was driving and I was kind of the odd one out. I would always hear people talk about how bad traffic was or how nice their car is or how full the McDonald's line was in the morning. And I was just kind of sitting there wishing I was them. And after that day, I was determined. All right, when my mom picks me up, I'm gonna watch her drive and see how easy it is and maybe I can replicate that. When my mom picked me up from school that one day, I watched her every move while she was taking me home and driving just looked more and more confusing. It looked so confusing that I kind of gave up the thought of trying to learn. I was like, yeah, I'll learn it eventually. I ain't gotta rush it. I'm good. But when that junior year of high school hit and I went to a different school, oh my God. Me and my twin sister went to two different schools, so our mom told us that we was riding the bus. I haven't rode the bus since I was like in elementary school, so I was so embarrassed. Looking back at it, I don't know why I was embarrassed. Everyone rode the bus back in high school, so I don't know why I was, but every time I would see someone drive their car, I would just seem so pathetic in my mind. So after that entire school year was over, I finally convinced myself I have to learn how to drive by senior year. So the summer leading to senior year, I was like a maniac. I would always ask my mom, can she teach me how to drive? And she would always tell me, oh, I'll take you out later. But later would never come, so the summer was getting shorter and shorter, and I still didn't know how to drive. Luckily, my older brother saw me struggling and agreed to teach me how to drive. And if I remember right, I think one of the first times I ever drove, it was me and him, and I drove my brother to the dispensary down the street from our house. If you do not know, darling, a dispensary sells very exotic plants. It's not really the most ideal way to learn how to drive, but I was still thankful regardless. It got me in the car and made me real familiar with all the mechanics, so I'm thankful for that. And after a couple days of consistently going to simple roads around the block and around the corner, I was confident enough to drive on my own. And as a gift from my brother to me was his old 2009 Toyota Camry. He had his own car and he's been driving that Camry since he was in high school. And it was always just sitting in the front of his yard for as long as I can remember. And he gave it to me. And I am so thankful for that. A lot of people can't get cars because they are expensive, and the fact that he gave it to me, forever thankful. And then one time, I remember I was driving around the block on my own and I was playing a really loud Tyler, the Creator song. And I had my music up so loudly that my mom could hear me all around the block. And when I finally came home, she yelled at me, telling me about how I'm not supposed to play music loud in the neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. Then she asked, how did you learn how to drive? I told her about my brother and how he taught me everything. And she was like, well, do you know how to park? And I was like, not really. And she's like, all right, come with me. We went to a community college because it was empty and it had a lot of parking spaces. And luckily they had cones in the parking lot. So my mom set up a bunch of cones to tell me to park in between them. The cones we had represented other cars. Like, for example, if I went to a grocery store and needed to get a parking spot, I needed to go in without hitting another car. And not to brag, but parking is so easy. I had no difficulties doing that at all. I'm just playing. I hit every single cone that my mom put there. And even now, as I'm running this video, I still don't know how to park that good. So if it's like a very tight space where I need to get a parking spot, I'd rather drive a mile away than try to fit in that space. But forget all that. I was driving all by myself. I was so proud of me until I ran over a cat. Yeah, I was coming home from work one day and it wasn't that dark outside, but I didn't have my headlights on. So I looked in my rearview mirror and saw a police car following me. So you know me, I'm new to driving, so I instantly panicked. I pulled over and the cop was so cool about it, he didn't even give me a ticket. He just told me to turn on my lights next time. And any other normal person, they just would have went on with their day after that. But me, I'm so weird, I was still very anxious after I got pulled over. On my way back home, I was just thinking in my mind, what if another cop pulls me over? What if I do something illegal? What if I just die? And as I'm overthinking, a cat runs right in the middle of the road. Boom, boom. And got squished by a car going 10 miles an hour. I felt so bad. I mean, it wasn't my fault. He just came at the wrong place at the wrong time. But still, oh man, I just went to the car wash. Now I gotta clean all these cat guts.